How y'all doing, good people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Be careful down in the comment section of the videos. A lot of spam, a lot of scammers. I will never ask you to contact me by WhatsApp or Telegram. I also do not invest money for my subscribers, so please be careful. Don't get yourself scammed. If you want to follow me on Instagram, guys, go down to the description box, click on that Instagram link for Richard Fain Millionaire Mentor, and give me a follow. And then send me a DM to say hello and let me know that you're rocking with me. I certainly would appreciate that. Again, guys, it's been a pretty crazy week. And a lot of stuff has happened over the past week in the stock market. A lot has happened with the talk about inflation and things of that nature. So hopefully last week or earlier this week, the information that I've covered has helped you guys put yourself in a position to continue building your wealth. That's the whole purpose of the channel, right? Is to give you information that will allow you to execute and get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And hopefully the information I've talked to you about this week has given you some information for you to do that. I want you to do me a big favor, guys. Get down to the description box. Go click on that Mumu link. Mumu is going to give you 10 free fractional shares of the Magnificent 7 stocks. When you open up a new Mumu brokerage account, you put $100 in your new brokerage account, they're going to give you up to 10 free fractional shares of the Magnificent 7 stocks. If you want that offer, guys, get down to the description box and click on that Mumu link. Now, Mumu is the brokerage app that I use, my primary brokerage app that I'm going to use over the next 10 years in order to double my net worth and get to my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If you want to rock with me and use the same brokerage app I'm using, get down to the description box and click on that Mumu link. Now, you don't necessarily have to use Mumu, but again, that's the brokerage app I'm using, and that's the brokerage app I recommend you consider. Now, I have 4 brokerage accounts, but the Mumu brokerage account is going to be my primary brokerage account to do what I need to do to buy the big boy blue chip paper assets I'm going to be buying over the next 10 years in order to increase my net worth. So if you want to rock with me on that, get down to the description box, click on that Mumu link, open up your new Mumu account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. Last thing, and then we're going to jump into the financial information we're going to be covering today, is my website. The website's been up almost 4 weeks. It'll be 4 weeks, I believe, on this coming Monday. It'll be 4 weeks. And like I said, over 100,000 people have visited the website, which I think is just bananas, because I haven't paid for any advertising or anything like that. I've just been mentioning it every day on my YouTube channel, and over 100,000 people have already visited the website. And a lot of you have invested in yourself and picked up some digital products to help you get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I think that's fantastic. And that's one of the reasons why I created the website, is to give you the option to be able to find digital products that can help you step by step get done what you need to get done in order to chase down your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, whether it be credit repair, credit restoration, improving your credit score, all the way to investing in real estate for income with little or no money down. Everything in between, right? We got stock market investing, we got mindset, millionaire mindset, transitioning, how to change the way you think about money and put you in a better mindset, like a millionaire's mindset. We got that. We got budgeting tools. Everything's there. all you got to do is make an investment in yourself and go get that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, man. And then what I'm really, really excited about that's offered through the website is my mentorship club. That mentorship club has been amazing. We're getting new members every single day. And when it gets to a certain number, I'm going to have to cap it because we have 90-minute private live streams that we're going to do every week, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do those live streams. And obviously the whole purpose of the live stream is not for me to just talk for 90 minutes. The whole purpose of it is to take questions for 90 minutes. So it's much different than what I do on YouTube here. I talk for 90 minutes, 60 minutes on YouTube in my live streams, and I don't take questions. In the private live stream through the mentorship group, it's all about questions. It's 90 minutes where you rapid fire at me and I answer your questions based on my 30 years of financial knowledge, right? And that has went over very well. We had our first one last Monday and had over 300 questions. And I'm more than, as a matter of fact, I stayed on that private live stream for over 2 hours, not 90 minutes, but over 2 hours, because it was just that many questions coming. And I just wanted to make sure I did my best to get everybody's questions answered. Now, we got to work on that because I missed a few questions. But the good news is if you're in the private, if you're in the mentorship club, you can email me anytime, right? And I'm going to answer your question. So if I didn't get it in the private, or you didn't have a question in the private live stream, all you got to do is email me, and people do. So we got our own Discord, our own separate thing away from YouTube where people are emailing me, and we're in live chats and we're doing all kind of stuff in that Discord and through the website of separate, which I love, right? I love. So if you want to be a part of that mentorship group, make an investment in yourself. It's a paid mentorship group. It's $15.99 a month. I ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing or hide nothing from you. But if you don't see the value in what I can provide for $15.99, then I get it. Hey, it ain't for you. But go over there and sign up. You'll see the value that you get, because I'm active in that Discord. I'm active every day. I'm active. I'm uploading something. I answer every question that's sent in through that Discord. I'm answering it. I'm uploading videos that don't even hit YouTube. They won't even come to YouTube, the videos that I upload over there. They're shorter videos, but they're impactful videos. I put one up yesterday that people seem to like. So my job in that mentorship group is to make sure every mentee, everybody that makes an investment in themselves and they're a part of that paid mentorship group, that they get everything they need to get to financial freedom. That's it. That's the whole point of it, right? And they understand the type of value that they're getting from someone like me with 30 years of experience of building wealth. That's invaluable, right? That's invaluable. For a guy like me, if I want to attain something and I see somebody out there that can help me get there, and they say, make an investment in yourself, Richard, in order to have a private with me where you can have your questions answered. You can be on a private live stream once a week for 90 minutes to ask questions, to clarify questions. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. But everybody got to figure out what's important to them in their life. And everybody got to find value and place their situation with whatever value they feel like they need, right? So get over to the website, second link down in the description box. Like I said, grab some of those digital products and then think about the mentorship group. Well, all right, guys, let's dive into our main topic for today, which is I lost $2 million and I don't know what to do. I got an email from a person who is going through this very situation. And I thought, hey, this is an incredible opportunity for me to be able to share my thoughts on a situation that I felt was heartbreaking, right? But it also, a lot of us go through this. So anytime I can take information make you guys aware of it, and then give you my thoughts on it. For me, that's what this is all about. It's not all about just talking about stocks. It's just not talking about ETFs. It's just not talking about inflation, the housing market, the economy. All of those things are important, but it's also talking about real life situations that people have been hit with that negatively impacted them financially. And if if I can share that information and save somebody from falling in that hole, then it's worth it. That's what it's all about, is helping people get to a point where they have enough financial literacy, enough financial education to be able to identify these crooks and these people who don't have their best financial interest at heart. So let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. So here's the situation, and then I'm gonna go ahead and comment on it. It says, I'm rocking with you. Wish I had heard of you last year. You could have saved my life. 1 or 2 million personal injury 3 years ago. Lawyers got more than me. Still don't know how they happened. Still don't know how that happened with my little over 800K portion. So settlement, attorneys take $1.2 million. Now, again, guys, I don't know how that works, because I've never been part of a settlement or any type of, hiring a lawyer to sue somebody for personal injury or anything like that. I've never been a part of that. But it just seems to me, a $2 million award and the attorneys get 1.2, you get 8. Maybe that's standard practice. Maybe that's fair. I don't know. But it sounds a little lopsided to me. And apparently this person felt like it was lopsided as well. But nevertheless, they get the 800K. I bought my dream home for 650K. So that's the first point. Y'all know how I feel about buying a home, especially this caliber of home at that price point. So he was awarded 800. Well, his portion was 800. He spent 650 of it buying a house, cash. So my thing right there, what I want to caution you guys on is this. Guys, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a house. I know that's part of the American dream. I know we all want a part of that American dream. But here's the thing. If you only got 800K and you're spending 650K on a house, you do understand you still got to live. There's still upkeep to the house. There's still property taxes on the house. There's still property insurance on the house. So unless you got a solid, steady flow of income coming in that can support all of this, you have to consider that may not have been the right move, right? That may not have been the right move. It may not have been. I'm not going to say what this person shouldn't have done. I'm going to tell you what I would have done, which is I wouldn't have done that. I personally would have taken that 800K and I would have probably put it in something that could generate some income for me for the rest of my life. If I could have put that in something that got me a 6% rate of return, that would have generated what? $48,000 a year for me. I believe I'm right on that. Yeah, probably $48,000 a year in income. Just like that, along with any other income that I was getting. So let's move on. So that was the decision that was made by this person, and that's their money. They can make it whatever the decision they want to make. I'm just saying, if it were me, the decision I would have made would have been different. But let's move on. I bought my dream home for $650, invested in scam real estate programs. Okay, step 2, get all of this money. I spent a big chunk of it on a house, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But then I start thinking about, how am I going to take care of myself and pay for all of this? So now what do? My back is against the wall because I've taken a big chunk of the money and I put it in a house that ultimately it dawned on me that, okay, I still got expenses coming in. This house is going to create expenses. I want to help my family. What's the quickest way for me to take money, put it in something and make money? And that's where scam artists, they're waiting on people like that. They're waiting on us to put ourselves in a financial situation where we can't think logical about things and say, well, okay, I'm already wealthy because I got the 800K. I can put the 800K in something that'll pay me 6%. I'm gonna make $50,000 a year off that 800K. And if I want to, I can put it into something else to even get a higher return and even increase the 800K. But see, when we take a big chunk of it and we put it in something and it's gone, now we got some money left when we're trying to figure out how to create money. The house was a $650,000 investment that creates zero money. It takes money out of his pocket and not in this person's pocket. You see what I'm saying? So right there off the bat, in my opinion, that was an opportunity to be able to create passive income by taking that full 800 and putting it somewhere, right? So we missed that opportunity. We bought the house, which is fine if that's your thing, but it's a dead asset. It don't generate no income. It's a dead asset. And then we get caught up in the scam world, right? Where all these grifters are out there saying, hey man, pay me $5,000, pay me 10 grand. I'm gonna show you how to flip real estate. I'm gonna show you how to buy tax liens. I'm gonna show you how to do this. None of that ever happens. According to this person, he says, I invested in scam real estate programs and gave my children the world and financed my divorce. So I get this money, I take a portion of it or the largest portion of it and I put it in real estate, which in my opinion, if it was income producing real estate, that would have been fine. If it would have been like a duplex or a threeplex or a fourplex, well, now I got three, four, units producing income. And that's wonderful. That's a wonderful move. But 650 in a house that I live in that produces no income, that's one I would have done differently, right? And then the scam stuff, and then obviously we want to treat our kids. We want to do right by our kids. And I certainly understand that. I understand wanting to do right by my children. And I don't know what he gave to the kids, but obviously he did give something to the kids. And ultimately got a divorce. So that didn't work out, which is sad in itself, right? I'm not sure why that didn't work out, but it didn't work out. So this person had a lot of things going on, guys. A lot of things going on. A lot of moving parts. But see, here's the thing. This is how this money we make disappears. This is how it disappears. See, when we don't have enough financial literacy and we don't have enough experience with money, and our behavior with money is not properly aligned with freedom, this is some things that will happen. And I'm not just saying to this person, it could happen to any of us who may fall into this situation. Maybe not on this $2 million scale, but maybe on a smaller scale, you've experienced something similar to this. Maybe some of you out there will miss and avoid this type of situation because you listen to this video. That's the whole point of it. But the key is financial literacy, right? We got to get our financial literacy to a point where we understand, although I want to take care of the kids, although I want to have a home, although I want to do all of this stuff, you got to understand when I have an asset like 800 grand, I got to figure out how to use that asset to multiply it. I can't take the asset 800 grand and just spend it on stuff that don't produce no income. Because where will the income come to take care of me then? I won't have any. One, I'm gonna be out the 800 and I'm not gonna have any income. So when we get this money in, guys, we gotta take this money and figure out how to multiply it. Not take it and spend it on stuff that don't produce no money. We gotta put it in stuff that produce income. right? And listen, I love my children, but listen, my job with my children is to do what? Do everything I can to instill in them the values that I've learned over the years when it comes to my finances. That's what I try to do. That doesn't mean I'm not the safety net for them, but it doesn't mean I just give them $10,000. I just give them $20,000 and just say, hey, go, okay, do whatever you do. See you the next time. No, I don't play that. No, if you need something from me, you're going to explain to me why you need it. And we're going to have a conversation. That's the rule. I'm going to be there for my children until I leave this place. But I'm never going to be there in a situation where one of them just say, hey, Dad, send me 10 grand. I got something I need to do. Oh, no, that ain't happening. We're going to sit down and talk about this and figure out what in the world is going on in your financial life that you need 10 grand. See, and I'm not saying the gentleman didn't do that. I'm just saying, I don't know if he did or not, right? So let's move on. Let's move on. Thought I could pay bills with my disability and eventually real estate earnings. See what I'm saying? We put the cart before the horse. And y'all know we do this. We will put the cart before the horse. So I go spend all this money and buying all this stuff and doing all this stuff. And then I think about how I'm going to take care of myself after. That's a pitfall some of us fall into. That's a hole that some of us fall into. We get this money. We make this money on our job, right? We get it. We win something. We get a settlement. Whatever it is, what do? We take care of our lifestyle first. We spend money to make other people wealthy. And then all of a sudden we think about, oh my goodness, how am I going to take care of myself? When we should have been saying, how am I going to take care of myself? I got this nice windfall of money. How can I take this money and make it into more money that creates passive income? That's putting the horse first, the cart second. Spending it and making somebody else wealthy and then thinking about how I'm going to take care of myself is the reverse. I'm putting the cart first, the horse second. We can't do that, right? We can't do that. So then I thought I could pay bills with my disability and eventually real estate earnings. Now, obviously, disability wasn't going to cover it. I mean, you got to have some major disability in order to cover all these expenses. You got a $650,000 house. You've lost money through some real estate scams, and you had to go through a divorce. So money is probably drying up at this point, right? But my expenses associated with my lifestyle are not drying up, right? And my real estate earnings never panned out. I never got the real estate earnings. It never panned out, right? It never panned out. Now, me, and here's what, you know, and I know, you know, from the Monday morning quarterback. Basically, that's what I am. I'm being a Monday morning quarterback, right? What I would have done, what I could have done. I get it. But guys, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been there. I've been doing this for 30 years. So the experience I bring to this situation is 30 years worth of experience, right? I bring this to you because I want you to not fall into this trap, because it is a trap, right? So here we go. Ended up taking about $300K loan with only an SSI income and trusting a broker who was like family for 20 years. So all of a sudden you get this $800,000 windfall. You take $650,000 of it and you buy this house cash. And then you start investing in all these little real estate things, thinking, okay, I'm finna hit a lick. I'm gonna get this real estate stuff going. That's gonna produce income for me along with my disability. I'm gonna be fine. The income from the real estate never pans out. Now all of a sudden, back's against the wall. I only got my disability. That's not enough. So now I gotta go take equity out of the house. But since I don't really have any income to support taking equity out of the house, I gotta go get a loan that's probably not the most legit loan. So what do? I can't go to a regular bank and just sit down with a regular bank. I got to go through a broker. And this broker supposedly is a family, like a family member. It's a friend, but it's like a family member. So what does the broker do? We know what's coming next, right? Let's see what this broker does. So I ended up taking out a $300K loan with only an SSI income and trusting a broker who was like family for 20 years. See, we got to understand and watch out for these people we allow in our lives, guys. We really do. We got to watch out and watch who we allow in our life. We got to vet these people. We have to vet these people. See, money does a funny thing to people. A lot of times money will bring out the real person. That person that's been hiding, that personality that's it's been there the whole time. But see, when you ain't got no money, it don't come out. That friend who really ain't there for the right reasons. When you broke and ain't got no money, you just like them. So that you don't see the real them. But when that money pop up, then all of a sudden they want to stick to you. Now all of a sudden, they want to help you do stuff with that money you have. But you never helped me do anything when I didn't have no money. But now all of a sudden I got money. You're a broker. You're a financial guy. You got great advice. But when I was broke, you had no advice to help me get unbroke. But now that I got some money, you got all the advice. Why never share that advice with me when I was broke? Since you're such a financial person, why didn't you ever share any of this financial literacy with me before I got this money? So we got to understand who we're dealing with, guys, and we got to know who we allow in our financial life. Trust me on this. If I'm friends with somebody, and at no point in our friendship have they talked to me about financial literacy. Not no point in our friendship have they tried to help me with financial budgeting or help me get my behavior with money right. They've never done that in my friendship. Now all of a sudden I hit a nice little lick. I got a nice little payout. I hit the lottery. I hit this. I get a good paying job. Now all of a sudden they step in when they see this money coming in. Now they want to provide some financial literacy. Help me out with that, guys. What's going on here? But we got to be able to put two and two together, is what I'm saying. We got to be weary of that. We got to watch out for that. Bad situation. Ended up taking about a $300K loan with only a SSI income. How in the world does that happen? How do you get a $300,000 mortgage loan? And again, you can't discriminate against people who only have SSI income. You can't say, I'm not going to give you the loan because it's not a regular W-2 job. You can't do that. But we know with SSI, in most cases, it's not $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year in most cases. A month in most cases. It's not $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. It may be a couple thousand. It may be $3,000 a month. It might be $4,000 a month. But it ain't going to be, you know what I'm saying, a $300,000 loan. You talking about you got to have a pretty good DTI based on your only your SSI income. So all I'm saying is that right there is a red flag for me, right? That's a red flag. But I get it. My back's against the wall. I'm running out of money. I got to get this loan because all of my net worth is tied up in a dead asset. That's why I keep telling you all about these houses, guys. Listen, I know it's a part of the American dream. We want to own a home, but I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful. Please be careful with these houses and these. I'm going to share an article with you guys here in a few minutes that's going to bring this home when it comes to these houses and what's happening, starting to happen. People are starting to get upside down in these houses. These ones that they bought recently. I'm talking about these ones that they bought in like 22, 21, 22. Yeah. When things were skyrocketed, people were making over ask and just going crazy. I got to have it. The pandemic. I got to get out of it. Those houses are underwater now. A lot of those houses are underwater. A lot of them are underwater. They owe more on the mortgage than the house is worth. Yeah, that's coming in a few minutes. But let's finish this up and then we'll dive into that. Ended up taking out a $300K loan with only an SSI income and trusting a broker who was like family for 20 years. He used my money to get himself out of debt. Now help me out with this. And again, I don't know this person's full story, but I'm just trying to get you guys to hopefully not get in a situation like this. Now, he's your broker. He does some kind of way magically gets this $300,000 loan. How in the world does he get it? How does he get a hold of it? Who was like family, he used my money to get himself out of debt, and I was blind to what he was doing. So what it is you got this person who's never showed, in my opinion, and I may be assuming, but never showed any type of financial literacy or tried to help you financially or any of that stuff before you got the award. Soon as you get the award, now they're Johnny on the spot. They're Robert Kiyosaki Jr. They're Dave Ramsey Jr. Right? Now they're a little clone of all these little gurus out here. Right? Now he says, hey, let's do this $300,000 loan. I'm the broker. Give me all this stuff. This is what we got to take this $50,000 and put it over. Oh, that's probably what happened. And of course, this person trusted him, believed in him. Okay, we got to do this. Okay, you got to set this account up over here to put the $300K in. And then I got to be able to have access to it so that that's what happens when we lack financial literacy and we're not in tune to what's going on out in this financial world, guys. People can take advantage of us. And it seems like that's what this family friend for 20 years did to this person. I ended up using the loan just to pay on very high interest rate that is the same person set up for me to lose my house. So you go get this $300K, and of course it's at the skyrocket, right? The rates are crazy. And this one probably here, since it was sort of it sounds like it was a little shady to me, it probably had a higher interest rate than the normal interest rate. Who knows what the interest rate was, but he said it was a high interest rate. So if 7.5 is like going rate, it must have been higher than the 7.5% rate, right? So now you got a $300K loan with a big old gigantic payment on it because you got a big old gigantic interest rate. You got to understand this is a mortgage, so it's mortgage style amortization, not simple interest loan where the interest is just calculated, separated over 48 months, and as the principal come down, the interest, not the mortgage style loan. It's front loaded with interest. So you got a $300K loan, high interest rate, front loaded with interest because it's a mortgage style loan. And then all of a sudden, he still only got the SSI income though. In some kind of way, the friend gets his debts paid off, but leaves this gentleman or this person with the $300K loan. I ended up using the loan just to pay on a very high loan rate that is the same person set up for me to lose my house. I haven't heard a word from this man for 4 months as I was threatening with foreclosure. So now the lender is on his case trying to foreclose. The lender is trying to foreclose now because he can't afford to keep up all of this. He can't keep up with his daily living requirements plus the mortgage payment. Can't keep up with it. He just stopped talking to me. So now this 20-year friend who got you into this loan, some kind of way swindled you out of some of the money. How that happened, I have no idea, folks. But swindled him out of the money or a portion of the money. You're stuck with the $300,000 loan at a very high interest rate, according to what you said, on an SSI disability income only. He's just stopped talking to me. Does this ring? Is this similar? Does this sound like anybody in our life? This case that I'm telling you about, guys, about this morning, have any of us experienced this? Not at the $2 million level, but at any level of money. Have any of us experienced this? Where we've had these people in our lives who we felt were friends. Soon as the money dries up, poof, they gone. Soon as the money dries up, they gone. Soon as the good time dries up, they gone. Soon as the cookouts stop, they gone. I don't know. All I can tell you is pay attention to who you're hanging around with. Pay attention who you allowing to speak into your life. Pay attention to who you're hanging around with. Make sure you're hanging around with people who have a genuinely vested interest in you being good, that you winning. That's all I can tell you guys. He just stopped talking to me. My house foreclosed in April. Now I have it on the market. It was sold at auction for $1 more than what I owed. So I get an $800,000 settlement. Actually, I got a $2 million settlement. The attorneys take 1.2. Again, guys, I don't know how that works, but it sounds to me like that's not a fair deal. Everything I've looked at typically says these attorneys typically get between 30 and 40%. How do they end up with, what, 60%? What is that? 240, 1.4, what's that? What's 60% of 2 million? 1.2? Yeah. How do they end up with 60%? And he gets 40%. I don't know. Maybe that's the going rate, but that in itself is shocking to me. That's shocking to me. And then on top of that, I got 800 left. I take 650. I buy a house. Then I figure out I don't have enough income to pay for my lifestyle, which includes the house. Then I started going into these real estate scams because my back is against the wall. I'm trying to figure out a way to make money quickly. Now my back's against the wall, so all rationale goes out the window. Any snake oil salesman who got a good talk game can trick me into anything. None of those things work out. I blow a lot of money in that, but that doesn't work out. So now I'm forced to do what? I got to refinance the house. Not really refinance it, but take a mortgage on the house because that's my biggest asset. It produces no income, but it takes a lot of income. It doesn't put no income in my pocket, but it takes income out of my pocket. So now I got to take a mortgage against the house that I own free and clear because I don't have enough income. Since I don't have enough income to qualify traditionally, I got to go through a broker who's a little bit slimy, and then he puts his little spin on it, gets me the mortgage, but it's some enormous interest rate. Then all of a sudden, I can't make any of this meet. I got to sell the house for $1 more than what the mortgage is. So if the mortgage is $300,000, $315,000, $318,000, I have to sell my house forced liquidation for $319,000 because the mortgage company just wants what they're owed. So somebody out there got a $650,000 house for $318,000. Just like that, $2 million gone. $2 million gone. And my heart goes out to this person because it didn't have to happen that way. But see, when we don't have the basic financial knowledge we need to have, guys, to operate in this financial world that we live in, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Now, it may not be on this big scale, but whatever scale you're on, whatever income you have, whatever money you got saved, if you don't get your financial literacy up, if you don't get yourself in a position where you change the way you think about money and start building assets and start buying all this stuff that don't put no money in your pocket. A lot of us have been taught, yes, go buy a house. You'll have it for the rest of your life. But here's the truth. Nobody lives in no house for the rest of their life anymore. People move. The average person stays in a house between maybe 7 and 10 years. Max. So nobody buys a house at 20 years old and they're there till they're 60 no more. Maybe back in the day they did that. They don't do that anymore. So this notion of like I'm buying a house because I got to pay it off and it'll always be mine, you're not going to be there. No one stays there for 40 years anymore. So here's the deal. If you're not at the enjoyment stage of wealth, why would you pay cash for a house that produces no income? None. All it does is take money out of your pocket. Why would you do that? I don't know. Why would you do that? And then all of a sudden you hit a bump in the road. All your cash is tied up in a house that you can't even qualify to get a mortgage on it because you ain't got no money. You got no income. So all your money tied up in a house that you cannot even get a loan on because you don't have enough income to pay for the loan. So what do? You got to go to a secondary market where you got all these slime balls waiting for you. 14% mortgage rate, 15, 18, because guess what they know? We don't care if you repay us because we're going to give you 50% loan to value. If you default, we're going to take your house. We'll make our money off the default because it's a $600,000 house. You default at 300. We got a $300,000 upside to sell that house to somebody else. Or one of our friends will buy it. We don't know who bought that house. Whoever bought that house for that on auction at $318,000 could have been in on the deal. How do we know? We don't. My point is this, guys. We gotta invest in assets that create income. Stop investing in these things that don't generate any income. It's one thing if you go invest in a rental property that creates income. That's different. Stop buying all these cars. Stop buying these houses. Stop doing all this stuff that don't create income. Please, build wealth first. Get your assets built first. Get you a rental portfolio of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 properties that generate cash. And then if you want to buy a dream home, go buy it because you got the assets over here to generate. You ain't got to worry about, oh, I want to get Social Security. Oh, I want to get disability. Oh, I want to get my pension. You ain't got to worry about that. If you get over here and build these assets first, not only will you get your pension, not only will you get your Social Security, but you'll also have these assets over here working for you. The gentleman ran into a problem because he had no assets that generated any income. He thought he could go out and just in a couple of months learn the real estate business. Guys, I keep telling y'all, stop falling for this stuff from these guys and gals on YouTube and these TikTok and Instagram. Stop falling for that stuff. You don't become a professional real estate investor in no 2 months, 3 months. I read your little course and now I'm a professional real estate. No, you don't. You learn that over years of executing. That's how you learn how to be a real effective I was never a professional real estate investor. Do you understand what a professional real estate investor is? First of all, do we understand what that terminology is? That terminology means all of your income, the majority of your income comes from real estate investing. That means that's how you take care of yourself. That's a professional real estate investor. I was never a professional real estate investor because that's not how I took care of myself. I was a banker. That was my primary income. I used real estate in the simplest form to build wealth. One property every 2 years. I wasn't trying to own 1,000 units, 10,000 units. That's a real estate investor. That's a professional real estate investor. People who own 100 units, 1,000 units, 10,000, those guys and gals. Most of us ain't gonna never get there. So why am I buying a course to learn how to do that? Now, if that's what you want to spend your money on, go ahead, but be realistic. You can buy the course, but you're not going to finish the course and then turn around the next month and own a 100-unit apartment complex. That's not going to happen in most cases. So what I'm saying is, figure out what your game plan is. Your game plan should be building assets that generate income, guys. Delayed gratification. If this gentleman would have took that 800K and invested it, if he would have just taken the 800K and invested it, stayed in the same lifestyle, whatever he was doing before he got the payout, kept that lifestyle, took that 800, put it in something that would generate at least an 8% rate of return and just left it there for 10 years. Do you know how much money this guy would have right now? Or 10 years from now? It would have been a lot of money. It would have been enough money for him to live off the interest for the rest of his life without having to worry about anything. Right? So all I'm telling you guys is be careful. Don't fall into these traps. Don't fall into these traps. Now, a couple of things, and then we're going to move on and talk a little bit about the housing market. Couple things. 5 things that I would recommend, because he's starting over, right? He's starting over. I mean, he's starting over. The house is gone. The 800K is gone. Right? He's starting over. So how do you start over? First step, he needs to sit down and write down some financial goals. That's the first step. And that goes for any of us who are starting over. We're starting over. We had a bad financial history. Richard, I'm starting over. What do I need to concentrate on just to start over? And here are the 5 things I recommend. Number 1, sit down, write down your financial goals. And those financial goals need to be realistic, they need to be measurable, and they need to be actionable. That's number 1. You got to sit down and say, okay, I'm starting over. Woo, I know the past was crazy, but I'm starting over. What am I trying to accomplish over the next 5 years? Matter of fact, what am I trying to accomplish over the next 2 years? What am I trying to accomplish over the next 5? And what am I trying to accomplish over the next 10? I need to write my goals down, and I need to be, like I said, I need to be realistic. It need to be measurable, and they need to be actionable, right? Realistic means I can't sit down and say, okay, I'm at 0 today, and in 2 years, I want to be worth 10 million. Now, if that's what you want to do, go right ahead. And I'm not saying there ain't 1 out of 100 people that can do that. But 99% of us ain't gonna do that. So why create an unrealistic goal like that? How about I sit down and say, okay, right here, I'm at 0. In 2 years, I want to have $100,000 net worth. That's realistic. Not 10 million. 100,000 is realistic. In 5 years, I want to have $500,000. In 10 years, I want to be a millionaire. That's realistic. Measurable. What do I mean by measurable? Well, guys, I gotta track my progress. I gotta be able to track my progress. Okay, Richard, you're month 3 of your 2-year financial goals. Where are you relative to hitting that $100,000 net worth? Okay, Richard, you're month 6. What's the net worth? What are you doing in order to get that net worth to 100K in 24 months? Okay, Richard, you're month 12. What have you done? Where are you at in your net worth goal for 24 months? Are you on pace? What are the activities that you're doing? That's what I mean by measuring your progress. And then the third one is actionable. It has to be, the goal has to be actionable. What actions, what concrete activities am I doing in order to get this net worth to 100K in 24 months? Okay, I got the side hustles going. I'm making $2,000 a month from the side hustles. I'm taking that $2,000 a month from the side hustles and I'm putting it into the stock market. I'm putting it into whatever asset that's going to multiply my wealth. That's actionable. That's the actionable steps I should be taking. Multiple streams of income, delaying gratification, living on less than what I make. Those are all actionable items, guys. So that's number 1 thing I would recommend to this gentleman or anybody else that's starting over. Sit your butt down, write out these financial goals, and they got to pass through those 3 gates. You got to take each goal through those 3 gates, right? Realistic, measurable, and actionable. Step 2, start investing. Well, golly, I ain't got no money. How can I start investing? I ain't got no money yet. I got all this credit card debt. I ain't got nothing. I ain't I don't care if it's $10 a month. Start investing. Why do you want me to do that, Richard? Because I need you to start reprogramming the way you think. I need you to reprogram yourself so that now you're starting to have a millionaire mindset. In order to become a millionaire, I got to start somewhere, guys. If I want to become a millionaire, I got to start somewhere. I don't care if it's $10 a month. You start changing that behavior. You got to start changing that behavior. I don't care if it's $10 a month. Fractional share trading through the Mumu app. Get yourself signed up for the Mumu app. Get your 10 free fractional shares of the Magnificent 7 stocks and start doing $10 a month. Fractional share trading. You're working on mindset. See, because my mindset with money at $1 is going to be the same mindset I have if I get $800,000. If my mindset is not good and I don't know how to use money, I know nothing about money, I don't know how to multiply money, guess what? At $1, if I get myself to $800,000, guess what my mindset going to be? Still at $1. If I don't know what to do with money when I got $1, what in the world I'm going to do with it when I get to $800,000? I'm going to do the same thing I'm doing with $1. This is what the mindset, guys. We're going to change that. How do I change my mindset? Through what? Action. I change my mindset through what? Repetition. I change my mindset through what? Discipline. Patience. But I start right now being the investor I want to be with $10. So when I get to $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000, I'm already the investor I want to be. So with $10, I start investing. That's step 2. Start investing. I don't care if it's $10 per month. You need to work on your millionaire mindset. And that's what that $10 is going to teach you. Because you're going to start doing what? Disciplining yourself. You're going to start being consistent. And you're going to start being patient with that little $10. And then guess what's going to happen to you? Your mindset is going to say, well, golly, this $10, I like that. Man, let me try to get to 50. Let me get to 100. And then the light bulb comes on. Now you're off to the races. Step 3, increase your skill set. That's step 3. If I'm starting over from scratch, step 3 is I have to increase my skill set. I get compensated for the value I bring to the marketplace, period. I don't get compensated because I think I'm great. I don't get compensated because I think I'm worth $1 million. No, I get compensated on the value that I bring to the marketplace, and the marketplace agrees, yes, Richard, you bring this much value, so we pay you. Nobody don't care what I think. They care what my results show. So if I believe I'm worth $100,000 a year to somebody out there, I better have some results to back that up. If I don't have results to back it up, I got to get my skill set up. I got to get my skill set up. I got to get out here and learn a skill set that brings more value to the marketplace. I can't have a $30,000 skill set and think somebody's going to pay me $100,000. It's not going to happen, guys. Nowhere on the planet. If I want to make $100,000 a year, I better have a $100,000 skill set, and I better have some results to show people I got that skill set. How do you get that? First of all, figure out what your skill set is. We all got one. And if you don't got one, figure out some things you'd like to learn how to do. If you like computers, you're on your phone 24 hours a day, figure out a way to learn a skill set where you get paid for being on your phone 24 hours a day. I don't know. That's what you got to do. But you have to get your skill set up. Number 4, Number 4, start surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to be. That's number 4. Start surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to be. It can be a virtual gang of 5. You don't have to physically know these people. Just pull them off the internet. Just make sure they're legitimate. Make sure they are in line with what you're trying to get accomplished. And make sure the information that they're giving you is the right information for you. But you got to start surrounding yourself with different people, guys. You got to start taking in information from people who are where you want to be. Not people that just get on social media and show you a fake Lambo or some house that they're renting through Airbnb. Not that. Legitimate people who you find online who are talking legitimate ways for you to get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Them the people you need to be following. Not somebody that just comes on and says, hey, I just bought a new Lambo and, get down in my Discord and I'm going to show you how to buy a Lambo. Not that guy. I'm talking about legitimate people who are on here saying, hey, real estate investment for income. Guys, it's going to take hard work. But if you're willing to put in the hard work, if you're willing to delay some gratification, if you're willing to earn and then take what you earn and invest it in these real estate properties, and you do that for a period of 5 to 10 years, you can create yourself a nice that's the people you need to be listening to. They're telling you the truth. Not any of this crap about, okay, send me $1,500 and next month you're going to be a real estate professional. What? Come on, man. That is not what you want to listen to. And then number 5, step 5, execute on the first 4 steps. Those are the 5 things, guys, you got to do if you're starting over. Those are the 5 things you got to do if you want to go from where you're at today to financial freedom. These are the 5 entry-level steps that I've walked you through. I think if you do that, you give yourself a chance. I think you give yourself a chance to succeed. So here's the deal, guys. All I can tell you is do what you need to do in order to get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Be careful with people in your life who have never talked to you about financial anything, and then all of a sudden you get this money. Now they're a financial guru. Be careful. I'm telling you. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Like I told you, these 5 action steps, these 5 I just gave you, I'd hang my hat on those. I'd hang my hat on those. Well, let's dive into a little bit of housing news because I think this is important topic for us to talk about. Seriously, underwater mortgages rise across the United States. Seriously, underwater mortgages rise across the United States. Around 1 in 37 homes are now worth much less than their remaining mortgage balances, according to new data released Thursday. Nationally, the share of seriously underwater mortgages means homes with an outstanding loan at least 25% more than the market value. So their mortgage loan is higher, is 25% higher than what the property is actually worth in the market. Rose from 2.6 to 2.7 in the first quarter per real estate data from Atom. However, that share still remains below the pre-pandemic level when 1 in 15 homes, 6.6%, fell into that category. Homeowners continue to benefit from elevated equity, but noted that the windfalls are starting to erode bit by bit. I keep telling y'all, one day you got $300,000 worth of equity. The next day, you got negative equity. I told y'all how this market works. That's why I keep telling y'all, all y'all got these houses that y'all think y'all are protected because you got some equity right now on paper, don't mean a squat of beans. It don't. It's not protected. I much rather get that money and put it in something that's going to actually produce income for me. Even if it do go down in value slightly, I still got the income. I'd rather take my $300,000 in equity and put it in a rental property. I can put a tenant in. Even if the property value comes down on that property, I still got a tenant in it paying rent. So, yeah, let's keep moving. The new report found several states, particularly in the South, have a significantly higher share of seriously underwater homes compared to the rest of the country. So if you live in the South, the good old South, Louisiana leads the nation, where roughly 1 in 9 mortgages, 11.3%, are seriously underwater, according to the report. Meanwhile, Kentucky saw the largest quarterly increase, jumping from 6.3 to 8.3%. If a homeowner overpays and the property drops in value, they can slip into negative equity, become underwater on their mortgage. That's been less of a concern for a long time. Homeowners who have seen their home equity skyrocket in recent years, but new homeowners haven't been as fortunate. That's for everybody out there that were buying these houses over ask. I gotta have it. Got tricked into buying these houses because you had low interest rates. Now all of a sudden these houses are starting to come down in value slightly. I'm one of those people. The dream house is coming down in value slightly. Now, I put a big chunk of money down, so I'm not underwater or anything like that, but it's basically what I paid for it. 6 months ago, it was over $200,000 more than what I paid for it. That was the value in it. Now that value has came down. Now I think it's worth about 1.375. It was worth 1.490. See how that's coming down? I don't just be sitting here talking to y'all about stuff I don't know anything about, guys. I experienced this. But the difference between me and a lot of people out there who are in this situation is I put a bunch of money down, plus I got a ton of assets. I don't worry about what the value is. And even if I go to sell this thing in 2 years and I lose 100, 150K, it's not going to devastate me. I don't really care. It won't devastate me. I'll sell the property, lick my wounds, and I'll move on to the next one. Why? Because I got assets out there that are making way more money than I'm going to ever lose in a house from an equity standpoint. That's why I don't pay my house off in cash. That's why I would never take $1.350 million and pay for a house cash. I would never do that. I take 25% of my money and put it into the property. The other million I put into the stock market that will outperform this property. That's why I don't pay cash for a house. Why would I? See what I'm saying? You have to understand this thing when we're talking about these houses, man. They go up and down in value. It's not real money till you sell it. The problem is when you sell it, what it's going to be worth, no one knows. Right now you got 300K, but in 5 years when you go to sell it, may not be that 300K may not be there. That's why I don't pay cash for my houses. That's why I don't try to pay them off early. That's why I don't make no extra payments, because I'd rather put it over here. So be careful out there, guys. It's starting to get dicey. Last year, more than 10% of recent home buyers had properties that were worth less than what they owed. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all might want to be in la la land somewhere saying, no, never. I got 2 houses, man. Both of them in the state of Florida, Southwest Florida, are going down in value. Both of them. They are. What am I going to do, sit over here and cry about it? No, because I'm smart enough to know don't put all your money in no house. Put whatever they make you put in there to get in that loan. And for me on this house, it was 25%. So I put that in. That was all they're getting from me. I took my other money, put it in the stock market, put it in other things. So even if I lose a little bit over here, don't worry about it, because I'm gonna make so much more in the stock market and other things that I do in my business than the little 150. Even if I gotta sell the house for 1.2 million and I paid 1.350, it ain't gonna hurt me, because I'm gonna make 4 or 5 times that over here. So it all washes out. I just look at it as an asset. I don't look at it, oh golly, it's my house and no, it's an asset, a dead asset versus my active assets. I got a dead asset versus active assets. The goal is active assets make 3 or 4 times more than I lose on the dead asset. And then I get out fine. And I move on. I don't care about it. It's just an asset, right? I got my personal enjoyment out of it. I move on. Give it to the next person. That's the way life works. Last year, more than 10% of recent home buyers had properties that were worth less than what they owed. Stiff competition for limited inventory and elevated mortgage rates contribute to that. I told y'all the mortgage rates was gonna come back to bite you. I knew it. Why? It limits demand. And when you limit demand, at some point, values have to drop because properties are not moving. They're just sitting on the market. I don't care if you think they're worth whatever you say they're worth, ain't nobody gonna buy it. So really, what is it worth? It's worth someone is what's willing to pay for it, right? So if there ain't nobody to pay what you're asking, I don't care what they say it's worth. Who cares what the market says it's worth if nobody willing to pay you for that? So you got to understand rates being higher for longer works against you when you're in a house. What works for you is when you have demand out there and people are willing to pay because they can afford to. That's what increases prices. Demand increases prices. Lack of demand decreases prices at some point. And that's what's starting to happen around the country. That's what's starting to happen. As far as major metros with the most seriously underwater mortgages, Baton Rouge, Louisiana tops the list with 13.4, followed by New Orleans, 7.3, Jackson, Mississippi, 6.5, Little Rock, Arkansas, 6%, Syracuse, New York, 5.6%. The share of equity-rich homes defined as properties with loan balances below 50% of the market value also fell in the first quarter, down from 46.1 to 45.8, according to the report. So even some of these places where you got super good equity, more than 50%, you got less, you owe 50% of what it's worth. That's even dropping. The latest equity drop-off isn't necessarily bad news for home shoppers because it may signal a broader decline in home prices. That's why I was telling you folks, anybody that's interested in buying real estate right now, especially residential real estate, this is the perfect time to go get you a good deal because of this. People can start seeing their equity erode. So them houses they got on the market, they can see it starting to come down. Little by little, every month it's coming down. So what they're thinking is, oh man, how do I stop the bleeding? How do I stop the financial bleeding? That's where you come in. You go in and make a sharky offer, a real shark offer, they might take it, depending upon where they're at on that seller fatigue spectrum. Wherever they're on that seller fatigue spectrum, they may take that sharky offer because they can see their property coming down in value every month they keep it on the market. It's going down in value. Why? There's no demand for it. You don't have any competition. You can go in and offer whatever you want because there's no competition out there for you. So if you got yourself financially in shape and you want to go buy you some real estate, I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't know why y'all think something's gonna 20% crash. It's not gonna be that. The 20% crash you created. Just go in there and offer them 20% lower than what they asking for it. That's all you gotta do. Somebody gonna take it. Somebody at the other end of that spectrum, that fatigued end of the spectrum, they will take it. Amid the recent trends this year's spring buying season will be heightened importance in telling us if there is a new long-term market pattern developing, Barber said, while also noting it's too early to tell. Last week, the average long-term mortgage rate rose to its highest level in 5 months, 7.22%. That's not good news for people trying to sell their house, guys. That's bad news because that's going to keep demand pent up. No one's coming out there for no 7.5 loan. I'm at 7.22% loan. You got to be desperate to do that. People ain't doing it. They're not going to do it. Only the desperate ones will. So guess what? If you're a homeowner out there, got your house up for sale, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Americans have been hoping for some relief in the form of interest rate cuts. But after multiple hot inflation reports, the Fed intends to keep rates higher for longer. Today, just 21% of people thinking it's a good time to buy a home, tied for the lowest level on record, according to Gallup. So I'm telling you, man, if you are bankable, if you are in financial good shape, there is no better time right now to buy houses for income and rent them out. Be a little baby BlackRock. You could be a little baby BlackRock, because that's what BlackRock do. They buying up so many houses right now because they know people are desperate. Sellers are desperate. People are seeing their equity erode and they're panicking. BlackRock going in and buying up everything, taking advantage of that. That's why I'm telling you, if you're a person that wants to get into real estate and you're bankable and you got yourself you're in financial good shape, go make you some offers, man. Be a little baby BlackRock. Housing costs now rank second behind only inflation as the most important financial problem facing American families. Wow. Wow. What a mouthful there. There you go, guys. I'm telling you, this thing ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. This inflation thing is not pretty. Next week, Wednesday, what? The 15th? The April CPI inflation report is coming out. The April CPI inflation report is coming out. And that's going to be next Wednesday. Critical data, guys. That is going to be critical data. That's going to tell the Fed if we got 4 straight months of inflation inching up. If it is, not going to be good. Not going to be good. Not going to be good, right? But as investors, that's going to be another opportunity for us to do what? Buy assets. So get yourself together, get yourself ready to go for next week. Get your war chest ready to go, right? Make sure you line your money up, get it in your Mumu brokerage account, get down to the description box, click on that Mumu link, open up your Mumu brokerage account, put you some money in it, and be ready to buy. Because there's going to be an opportunity, because I just saw a report, a pre-report, that I'm going to cover a little bit more tomorrow from Bank of America and who was the other bank? It was 2 major big boys, two too big to fail big boy banks giving a prelude report to the inflation report that's coming out Wednesday. And they're saying inflation going to be going up. That's what Bank of America said. So I'm telling you, man, if that inflation report comes out and it does not meet expectations, the stock market's going to sell off. And when it does, I'm going to pick up some of the video that day. So I got the war chest waiting. If Bank of America's prediction comes true, matter of fact, let me see. I can't find it right now. But if Bank of America's prediction comes true that the inflation report for April, the CPI inflation report for April is going to show a tick up in inflation, stock market's going to sell off. And when it does, I'm going to grab me some more in the video. because I also believe, I believe that's a possibility. Honestly, I believe the CPI inflation report for April is going to be hot. Now, here's the thing though. In that report, Bank of America also said they believe by the tail end of the year, like on the second half of the year, inflation is going to go down. So they still believe the Fed will reduce interest rates this year. They just don't believe the April inflation report is going to be weaker than expected. They believe it's going to be stronger than expected. That means inflation is up slightly. Not like, okay, it's from 3% to 5%, nothing like that. But see, you don't need all that. All you need is the report to come in showing inflation went up. I don't care if it's 0.1%. Stock market will sell off. And when they do, treasuries will go up, stocks are going to go down, and I'm going to swoop in and scoop me a couple of them and just ride the wave for a week or so and then sell it. That's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to just make a little money. So be prepared. Get yourself mentally prepared for next week, guys. Especially for Wednesday. That's going to be a big day. That's going to be a big day. So get yourself prepared, get your war chest together. And in my Monday membership group live stream, I'm sure I'm going to have some questions from my mentorship group about what's going to be happening next week and what I'm going to be positioning myself to do. So I'll have that a little bit more deeper discussion inside the mentorship group on Monday in our private live streams. So if you want to be a part of that, get down to the description box, click on my website link, Richard Fain Millionaire Mentor website, which is www.richardfain.net. Click on that website link and go grab some digital products to help with your mindset, to help with credit repair, to help with budgeting, to help with investing in the stock market, to help with investing in real estate with little or no money down. All of that's on the website. So if you really want to build wealth and you really want to get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, no excuses. You can go to my website and find products that will help you do that. And then all you got to do is execute. And then if you want to take it one step further and spend more time with me in a private mentorship group, it's a paid mentorship group, so it's private. Nobody else can get in other than people who have made an investment in themselves and paid to get in. That's an investment in them, not in me. It's in them. Right? So you want to be a part of that, get yourself over there, jump in. We have a good time. We're going to have these 90-minute live streams every single week, private. And it's just rapid fire questions that with my 30 years of experience, I'm answering for them. And the good news is they got access to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, not 24 hours a day. Let me take that back. That's a lie. They ain't got access to me no 24 hours a day. They got access to me 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I don't know about this 24 hours a day stuff. I'm a little backtrack that. Edit that out. They got access to me 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So your boy got to sleep. Your boy got to have some fun and go chill out at the pool and listen to a little rap music every now and then. I don't understand nothing they saying, but I like the lyrics. You know, they got the little with the little beef going right now with the dude Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I didn't really know who those cats was. I've heard the names, of course, but I didn't really know their music because I don't really listen to rap music like that. And if I do listen to rap music, it's old school, right? Tupac, you know, people like that. DMX, that's the kind of stuff I used to listen to, right? But I just got introduced to these new cats, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and they got a little rap beef going right now. And I've been listening, trying to keep up with the little beef. I'm like, dude, you're 56. What are you even listening to this for? But I'm listening. And I just started really understanding and listening to the lyrics. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't promote the violence thing. I don't promote the talking about women thing. I don't promote none of that. But the lyrics and the flow and the beats, you kind of find yourself like, okay. So I'm listening to Drake and I'm thinking Drake winning this thing. And then your boy Kendrick Lamar come back and drop something. I'm like, Kendrick Lamar winning this thing. I think Drake is more of a pop guy. He'll probably sell more albums. He's more of a pop guy. He ain't as He ain't as edgy as Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a real lyricist. He's a real, I mean, I'm talking about the meanings. He says some crazy stuff, but when you listen to what he's saying, it's much more deeper than Drake. Drake got a good flow, but that doggone Kendrick Lamar, man, this guy, with his lyrics, he is so deep. The stuff he be saying, he was saying something about the collar knot. He's a collar knot. Listen, man. But nevertheless, I don't promote the violence end of it. I don't promote nothing about no, I ain't, But the lyrics and just the battle between those two. And you know, here's my thing, the thought process. I think them brothers have much respect for each other. And I guess they just got to do what they got to do, right? To sell records or get popular or whatever they do. But I think they got respect for each other. But I found myself over the last week listening to them. So, okay. Enough of that. Let's get back to what's at hand and get out of here. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you locking in, checking me out on this Saturday morning. Hopefully you got something out of this. Feel so bad for the person who got swindled out of the 800K. Really, they got swindled out of $2 million because the attorneys took $1.2 million, and then they lost 800 of it. So really, it was $2 million loss. But again, I think he can get back from this. I think he just has to get back to the foundation and move forward, and hopefully start surrounding himself with some people who really got his best interest at heart. And then obviously, you know, we talked about the housing market. Guys, if you got all this equity in these houses, don't let it evaporate. That's all I can tell you. It's your money, it's your house. You do whatever you want to do with it. Please don't let it evaporate. Don't sit around and watch this equity evaporate before you do something with it. Please don't let this. If it was me, I'd just sell the house, right? I just put it up for sale and try to sell it. If it was me, with all that equity, and that's my only nest egg. That's my only real positive net worth. I'd get out of that house in a heartbeat. I'd get out of it in a heartbeat. In my opinion, that's me now. You do what you got to do. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you, don't let your equity evaporate. Please don't. Don't let the equity evaporate. Don't let it evaporate without you grabbing it and putting it in something that can multiply it. That's the key, right? All right, guys, lock it in with a thumbs up before you get out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me so much. Thank you very much. Lock it in with a thumbs up. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow on Sunday with another live stream, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You guys have a wonderful Saturday. Do me a big favor before you get out of here. Get down to that description box. Click on that Mumu link. Open up your new Mumu account. They're going to give you 10 free fractional shares of the Magnificent 7 stocks. When you open that new Mumu account and you put $100 in there, now you're ready to start trading and building wealth, buying paper assets, buying individual stocks to get to your wealth. 10-year wealth blueprint, wealth transfer blueprint. So get down to the description box, click on that Mumu link, open up your Mumu account today, go get that free stock, go get that free money. Check out the website, grab some digital products, sign up for the mentorship club. Get down there and click on that Instagram link, Richard Fain Millionaire Mentor Instagram link. Give me a follow on Instagram and then send me a DM to let me know you're rocking with me. I really would appreciate it. Y'all know I appreciate y'all 100. I always keep it 100. I always will keep it 100. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.